This month, we watched Paranoia Agent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what
The only thing you forgot to intro what this show is, by the way.
I always do that. I'm terrible at the intros. Zach, you do the intro because it's technically your thing. I'm just kind of.
Oh shit! Calling me out. Anime Dartboard is an anime book club where we pick a random, maximum 13 episode anime series from my plan to watch list, and then we take a huge steaming shit all over it.
Sometimes, but sometimes we actually enjoy it. Sometimes. Magical Warfare.
Paranoia Agent is the only anime from Satoshi Kon that I had not seen. I've now seen everything Satoshi Kon has done, I believe.
This is the only thing I'm pretty sure of his I've seen.
Watch Perfect Blue.
Yeah, you told me. I started Black Lagoon too, which was supposed to be for tonight, but I didn't. I watched 2 episodes and I got distracted by. I started watching it before the whole Berserk thing, so then I started watching.
Mm-hmm. Black Lagoon is good. It's not made by Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, I don't know. It just made me think.
Although, fun fact about Black Lagoon: the creator of Black Lagoon also makes a hentai doujin of the Black Lagoon characters under the pseudonym Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex?
Yes. So there is official Black Lagoon. Well, it's unofficial Black Lagoon hentai, but it is created by the creator of Black Lagoon.
Okay.
So that's fun. I haven't seen it. I just know it exists.
At least you know it exists. That's all that matters.
Yes. At some point, I read like an article about like 10 famous manga artists who have done porn, and I'm like, okay. And like some of them are like fucking obvious, like the creator of Mikan Ki, and I'm like, no, really?
I mean, there was a little bit of porn in this for like a split second.
Yes.
Porn and Gundam for a second.
Did the author of Hellsing also make a hentai that was connected to Hellsing? Yes, we got to see, I believe, the consent. It's either Hitler conceiving Schrodinger or Hitler having sex with Schrodinger, or both. But Hitler was involved in it.
Just remember, episode 100, we are going to review a hentai.
Yes. And from that point on, the podcast becomes weekly.
Take about 5 years. Also, speaking of said Gundam, I do have that gun.
Review a time to screw. I think that's what you said when this came up. Anyway, Paranoia Agent, Satoshi Kon, like 12 or some odd episodes. What did you think of it, John?
I actually really liked it. At the beginning, I was like, okay, this is like your standard fare, but it gets really, really weird towards the end, which I like when it does that. So I thought it was pretty good. I was actually talking to the owner of the Subway in my mall about it too, because he's seen it too. He's like, yeah, I watched it in college because him and I talked about anime and shit. So yeah, I watched it in college, and I like wrote a paper like kind of junction with it too. I was like, oh, okay. But I liked it.
Okay. So this is probably...
Oh, Sack froze. What did he say? That? Now you're back.
It was such a controversial opinion that it fucking broke.
Did it? Okay, that was like the perfect time for it.
I said it, and reality was like, what? And it just vibrated. I vibrated reality.
Let me get the hot takes.
This is my least favorite thing that has ever appeared as a dart.
Oof. Really?
I would rather rewatch Skycrawlers.
Oof. Magical work.
Yeah. I had a rough time. I barely made it through this.
Okay.
Yes, when Maid was first coming to my streams, she mentioned how she was doing a paper on Satoshi Kon, so I did know that. Maid did a paper on Satoshi Kon. Yeah, I did not like this at all. I had an internal debate a debate on whether this was like a 3 or a 4 for me, and I decided that if I were to arrange it on a like scale, if the debate was a 6 or 7, I'd probably give it like more of a 6, so it became more of a 4, if that makes any sense. Like,
No,
because my
I'd probably
scale
put it
also
at 6 too, like 6 category.
my scale works on an inverse, like, so you have to earn down and up, and I'm like, I went through my entire anime list of everything I've ever given a 3 and everything I've ever given a 4, and it's like, well, okay, technically I like this less than anything I have ever given a 4, but I like it more than anything I have ever given a 3.
Yeah, it's like I liked it, but I wasn't like in like with it. So like I was like wasn't a bad watch. Like Skycrawlers, I think Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare are way worse. So I actually could watch this.
Will say this: Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare are worse shows.
Yes.
I just like this less.
Fair enough, yeah.
This is definitely on every way more competent than Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare.
And I watched the entire series today too. I watched I watched episode 3 to 13 today. I watched 1 and 2 yesterday. Because that's how I do things. I wait until the last minute to watch this.
It's a very Bloodborne situation with this, where I will acknowledge that it is solidly put together. It is not to my taste.
Fair enough. And I love Bloodborne, but I did not love this. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, but it wasn't interesting. No, like it was. The only reason why I could finish it in one day was because A, I was getting paid to sit in the back and do nothing and watch this, and B, because it was literally just dead all day today, and I just had the time to do it. But it was kind of hard. It wasn't. I wouldn't say a hard watch, but it was like I had to focus and do the same. There was I think I got to episode 8, I think it was, and then I was just on TikTok for like an hour. And then I like looked up and I'm like listening to it and like I know what's going on because that's how my ADHD brain works. And like it was like I believe it was like episode like 11 or 12, and I'm like, oh, this is almost over. Okay. I'm like, oh, it's like 6:30. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely well made. It was decently directed. It's my least favorite thing I think I've ever seen from Satoshi Kon. And it was very much something he would make. This is how a lot of his shit goes. It sort of uses like surrealist elements to address actual things. But unlike something like Perfect Blue, which is about a character having a psychotic break, or like Paprika, which is about like reality and fantasy colliding. In Paranoia Agent, it's very clearly using its absurdist elements as sort of metaphors, and sort of as like a way of conveying this sort of paranoia of the situation to the viewer. It uses a lot of like figurative imagery, I will say.
Yeah.
And it's very fucking like it's very like Satoshi Kon, but it works, but it works less effectively than his other movies, if that makes sense.
May brings up a good point. I do have an excuse. I have a really good excuse. But I do also do that with like every anime.
I mean, I'm not sure what am I making an excuse for?
Yeah, she said, "Oh yeah, I forgot you two don't pay attention to the stuff you want." John has an excuse.
I mean, I also don't pay attention, but I paid enough of attention. I mean, I feel like I got what I needed to out of the show. I don't know.
I definitely paid attention to it. Like I was saying, like it's not that I didn't like it. Like,
boredom was a big part.
Yeah, like it had me hooked until like episode 8, and then I was kind of like, okay, and then like all that weird shit just started happening, and that's kind of like where I was like, all right. And then like I said, like I looked up and it was like episode 11 by then. It's like, but I was still listening, so like I knew what was going on. I just wasn't watching. It was more like a listening affair at that point. Because
Hmm.
for whatever reason, my brain can work like that, where I can literally watch two things at once and absorb the knowledge of both. I don't know if it's a
Yes.
superpower or a bad thing, but I do it all the time. Like I'll literally be watching an anime like up here and working on shit on the like VC mod all the time. I'm not a
No, yeah,
big
I do that as well. That's how I roll.
yeah.
Like I said, that's why I don't like stream every game I play, because yeah, that is not an interesting experience for everyone.
Yeah, same thing here. Like there's some games that I choose not to stream just because I can't. I can't do. I can't stream it. But
Yeah.
I feel it. Yeah, superpowers.
But yeah, I honestly, I just didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of its subject matter. I wasn't a big fan of like the absurdist elements. I've never been a big fan of like figurative language and visual metaphor anyway. Like in lighter cases, but as heavy as like Satoshi Kon usually goes with it, I've never enjoyed it. I find it like hard to digest, kind of. It's like so much happening visually. It's like getting vomited on by a metaphor.
Yeah. No, like the symbolism and stuff in the show, like I thought was neat. I kind of guessed what was going on from the first episode, and like something has to be going because
Hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't have opened up like that if it wasn't the case. That's just how I put shit together sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, I was on Discord playing Revelations Persona while character was attacked, so down, looked up, and the next thing or I do that all the time. That literally that was like that's like me. Like I just look up and I'm like, oh, oops. Any RPG. But like it that didn't ruin obviously the reveal for me, even though I kind of guessed it, because like the way they presented it was like it was solid. It was like the kind of like I felt like if this show was like 3 episodes or 2 episodes shorter, it would have fared a little bit better. But it felt like they kind of just threw some shit in, like the whole episode where like they're talking to the kid and it's kind of like that medieval type of episode. Like I thought that was kind of weird and like out
From
of
what Maid said, this is from a bunch of ideas he didn't get to use.
yeah, which you can kind of tell because like the way it goes, and then you like the guy in the bathroom like spitting out the words and shit like that. Um, like those are
I
all
actually thought that was one of the more clever metaphors.
yeah. That was that like that part like it was good, but like it should have been elsewhere in like the show. Like I feel
Hmm.
like again like if they just took a couple of the stuff up and like the whole episode with like the girl or the tutor who's also like a prostitute or whatever. I feel like that could have been shortened a little bit. Like I got it by the end of the episode. I don't think she needed a whole episode dedicated to her. But I mean plot wise it makes sense because like everything's connected in some way.
Hmm.
I just again, I like if it could have fared better if it was like 11 episodes rather than 13. But
Just shorter. Yeah.
yeah, you can say that about a lot of shows. It is what it is. Like again, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just that like there's points where I was like, okay, like this is happening, cool. But when it comes to like the actual like plot, I think it was an interesting plot. Again, symbolism that was great. Um,
Hmm.
some of like the art and the way it depicted something like that guy in the bathroom like spewing out the words was fucking cool and it was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, it was like
Oh, and the lady who killed her husband was. See, part of the thing is like I think the show just feels too cynical for me. It's like it's too mean spirited. Like everyone's like a terrible person or a pedophile. There's so much pedophilia in this, by the way.
yeah,
Like
the whole
what is it,
daddy
like
thing.
34 characters? It's a lot.
Yeah,
It came up
the whole guy
often.
that's like call me daddy, like I hated that part. I fucking
Oh yeah.
it made me cringe so hard.
Oh
Like
yeah, and then you find out he's like spying on her. Like he's
yeah,
spying on his daughter. Yeah.
it's
And then she like goes
so weird.
crazy and like mentally blocks it out.
Mm. Yeah, it was stuff like that. I think that, like, obviously, because 'cause I'm a dad, like, that stuff creeps me out even more, and because I
Yeah.
have a daughter as well, so, like, stuff like that, I'm just like, it makes me cringe, and, like, it's not that, like, obviously,
If it
like,
was just like one, two, either, but it was like multiple. I think it was like three characters or something. Like it came up, like
yeah.
it was a plot point.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was, like, a one and done thing, like, it kept coming up, and, like,
Hmm.
I can watch that stuff, and, like, it's not like I'm like, "Oh, like, we shouldn't have this in media because it's a part unfortunately, it's part of life, and, like,
Yeah.
it should be depicted, like, The Lovely Bones, like, that is a great story, and it has to
Hmm.
do all with that, um, and other media and stuff, but, like, it's the fact that they kept doing it too that was, like I'm like, "Okay, like, once would've been cool." Like, you can't have 3 separate people having, like, the same thing and, like, to make it interesting to me, like, it
Hmm.
at that point, it's just
Yeah,
being
you got to spice it up a little bit. Yeah.
exactly, like, if one of them was, like, a pedo and, like, the incestuous stuff, all in one character, and then you had another guy who's maybe, like, I don't know, maybe a necrophiliac and, like, I don't know, like and I don't know, some dude that wanted to fuck robots, I don't know. But, like, the 3 of the same thing is, like
Fuck robots. There's no robots. This takes place in like the 90s, I think.
yeah, I'm just saying, you like, in generalities, like, it could have been some other weird sexual thing. He had a balloon fetish. That was a thing in the 90s
Oh
probably.
dear. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. 2004, winter 2004.
Okay. So I mean, like, is but I mean, again, like, overall, I liked it. Like, I wasn't a huge fan, but, like, I feel like if I watched this, like, maybe, like, 10 years ago, I would have been blown away by it, but
Hmm.
watching it as almost 30 year 31-year-old doesn't hit quite as hard as maybe, like, if I was 20 or 20.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, I think my main thing with it is it's too like mean spirited. It's too cynical. Everything's like sucks. Everything's sad or like creepy or unsettling. There's no like up points. And like I said, this is competently made. This is well made.
It's
Like
very well
the
made.
show was supposed to feel unsettling, and I was unsettled. The problem is I do not enjoy that sensation. And that's like the whole show. It's like, ooh, look at all these pedophiles, or ooh, mysterious psycho kid with like gold roller skates and a bent baseball bat. Ooh, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's effective, but I'm not a fan. And like, God, I hated those fucking housewives. Like, I think the of all of the scenes that stuck with me, it's that fucking housewife arc. uh that fucking got to me the most. Like,
Mm.
fuck those bitches.
No, that's understandable. I mean,
And then at the end she like fucking kills her husband. So
I don't mind being unsettled, but like you said, at a certain point, it's like, okay.
it's like the whole show.
Yeah, like, 'cause I've seen stuff with a lot of, like, essay and, like, R word and stuff like that, 'cause we use those terms now because we don't wanna be banned and blocked. Um,
For what?
needed for, stuff.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Alright, never mind. But, I've seen, like, Berserk is a good example of that, like, there's specifically a plot point where somebody gets R worded, so it's and, like, I can watch it, and I'm not, like, an advocate of it, but I'll watch it, and I think that's unsettling, but, like, if that happened in Berserk and then happened, like, an episode later, I'd be like, "Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're all set with this," you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it becomes like heavy-handed at a
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
exactly, but, it's shows like that that, like, you could put that fucked up shit in it, but as long
Well,
as it's
that's
not
that's part of the thing about like Berserk is like that I said everyone's like, oh, it's so dark and edgy, but it's like the whole thing about Berserk is that like there's some ups to the downs, and this is just all down the whole time,
yeah, yeah.
which is the point. And if it didn't do that, it wouldn't be going against its point. I mean, it's even called Paranoia Agent, but that just because you've performed your fucking feat well doesn't mean I have to enjoy it.
That's true. But I mean, I would recommend it to people, like, just because everyone's gonna have, like, a different
Manhunt, I doubt it'll unsettle me. I have a lot thicker stomach than you think I do.
Yeah, like I would recommend because like I think this series would hit everyone differently. It really
Hmm.
depends on like if I were to show this to Megan, she would probably I don't know because she really liked Berserk, so I mean I don't know if she would like this. I'm not gonna rewatch it, so I mean who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean if I showed it to maybe my buddy Tom or something, maybe he would be like, I actually really like this. Um, or if I showed it to like my brother's girlfriend who's really into anime, who only really watches like Inuyasha and Naruto, maybe she would hate it. I don't know. Really depends.
Hmm.
But I mean, if you like stuff like that, if you like to feel unsettled and weird for like a couple hours, then definitely watch. I'll
Or just watch fucking Perfect Blue.
fair. Or
Watch
paprika.
something made by the same creator with a similar feel, but actually good.
Yeah. And again, paprika's good.
Paprika's okay.
I like it.
I didn't know you'd seen Paprika.
I watched it really drunk.
Oh, interesting.
And then I forgot I watched it until somebody reminded me I watched it. Then I have to or rewatch it.
Surprised you didn't talk about the suicide episode where the one kid kills himself. I didn't really think it was that noteworthy.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I've seen people do that to themselves like IRL, so that doesn't really
Yeah.
that doesn't really bug me in any sort of media anymore. Like it's just like, oop, 2 scoops of tomato soup, whatever. I should really stop saying that when it comes to that's kind of. But I just love that phrase, 2 scoops. I'll never not use it.
How did he? Do we know how he killed himself?
I honestly, and I watched it.
Wasn't it like a head wound or something? How did he like slam his head against a wall? I wasn't paying enough attention to know.
Yeah, that must have. That
Oh,
must
the
have
one with the old man, the young man, the little girl, and they all want to kill themselves, and the two guys don't want the girl. Oh, okay. I actually really liked that episode. Can I say that? That was my favorite episode.
Which episode was that?
Yeah, the one with the two guys that were trying to kill themselves. Like the old man, I don't know why the old man wanted to kill himself. And like I think the girl implied she had something like going on with her parents or something. And like the one guy was gay, and they all like tried different ways to kill themselves, but none of them really want to kill themselves. They just say they do. I thought that was all really clever.
I
You don't remember that episode? Like the three people meet up to kill themselves and they're like, we're going to hang ourselves. No, that doesn't work. Should we jump off a building? Nah, that's stupid. Jump into a train? Nah, we're not going to jump into a train. And then they like go to a hotel at the end and they're like, man, wouldn't it be great if fucking Little Slugger comes in, and then Little Slugger comes in and they like chase him down and they're like, get back here, Little Slugger.
I honestly, that was probably when I was like zoned out.
Oh no, that's like the best episode. I tell you, that's the best episode.
Yeah, because that must have been in the tail end when I wasn't.
Oh, you missed the best episode.
Oops.
I'm actually glad Made pointed that out. I literally forgot about that episode. That episode is fucking great. That episode was banned in the UK until the Blu-ray came out, but they don't kill themselves, and they don't really want to. That's the point of the episode.
Yeah, I think it's just
The point of the
that they're
episode is
talking
that they
about.
don't want to kill themselves.
Yeah, yeah. UK's like weird. Like if even if you talk about it in media, like they don't like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about UK censorship other than it's the bunch of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got some good stuff. Anyways,
Okay.
so if I were to rate this, like I said, I'd probably give it a 6. Just because like it looks nice, it's very well put together. It just wasn't for me.
4 is what I ended up with.
4.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm more generous.
I decided 4 over 3.
I'm like the Santa
like I
Claus
said-
of ratings. Like I'm generous.
Yeah. It's my least favorite 4, but it's better than anything with a 3 in it, for sure.
Like the original cut of Justice League, I gave a 6. That's generous because that is not a
I gave it a 4.
Santa Claus.
My most common ratings are 4 through 7.
Yeah, it's very rare that I give something higher than an 8 unless it's like it literally blows me away. Unless it's Everyday Worst Prod album. Um, they're just masters.
Coached Big Order and gave that shit a 3. I kind of liked Big Order, but I can understand not liking Big Order. Wait, Big Order or oh no, I was thinking of Big O. Big Order. Yeah, I read the manga and it was okay. It was no Mirai Nikki. Although I think the anime for Big Order, I heard some stuff that like the anime is worse than the manga.
Oof.
Not that anyone thought the manga was that great anyway, but
all right, so what do we got next month?
all right, so I have it in here. Shuffle.
Next month is gonna be.
I won't make the shuffle joke again.
What was the shuffle joke?
Oh my!
So every time you do an oh my.
Well, this was gonna happen at one point.
Oof, I don't like the way that sounds at all.
Oh shit! I'm almost excited.
This is very vague. What do we got?
Oh, this had to happen.
It's either going to be a banger or a shit box.
This had to happen at some point. Was I sure that this... Oh, yeah, Caitlin Glass. I guess this has been dubbed. I'm surprised this even has a dub. Okay, I'll send you over an image. Okay, here we go. What dart is this? 12, I think? The 12th dart. Love Live School Idol Project.
Just by looking at this is definitely a thing. Okay. That up. And
Maybe gave it a 7.
He gave it a 7.
Love Live School Idol Project, animated by Studio Sunrise, directed by Takehiko Kyogoku, who is famous for this. He did a Shin-Chan movie.
Oh, Shin-Chan.
Ew, he did Gate. Oh, he did Land of the Lustrous, actually. Okay, so this is like a real person. This is a human with talent, apparently. Something called Seize Your Heart from That Day, which I've never heard of. It is, done by Studio Sunrise, directed by that dude. It has 13 episodes, aired in winter 2013. Let's see. I gave Paranoia Agent a 9, which is probably the highest you guys will ever watch on this show. Otano Kizaka High School is in a crisis. With the number of enrolling students dropping lower and lower every year, the school is set to shut down after its current first years graduate. However, second year, Hanuka Kosuka refuses to let it go without a fight. Searching for a solution, she comes across popular school idol group A-Rise and sets out to create a school idol group of her own. With the help of her childhood friends Umi Sonata and Kotori Minami, Hanuka forms Muse to boost awareness and popularity of her school. Unfortunately, it's all easier said than done. Student Council President Ari Ayase vehemently opposes the establishment of a school idol group and will do anything in her power to prevent its creation. Moreover, Hanuka and her friends have trouble attracting any additional members, but Love Live, a competition to determine the best and most beloved school idol groups in Japan, can help them gain the attention they desperately need. With the contest fast approaching, Hanuka must act quickly and diligently to try and bring together a school idol group and win the Love Live in order to save Otanu Kizaka High School. Written by Mal Rewrite. Average score 7.42.
All right, if the average score is 7, but this is definitely something that I know I'm. I don't know. We'll see. It's music and all. I mean, I like Sailor Moon, so I mean that's all girls.
Yeah, this is not Sailor Moon.
Yeah, this is gonna be like a million sequels to the show, and
Love Live is the definitive idol anime. It is the Sailor Moon of idol anime. It is the Dragon Ball Z of idol anime.
So there's gonna be Super Saiyans and fights in this show?
No.
Oh,
What I am saying is it's like the initial D of idol anime. It is like
so there's cards
when you
in
think idol anime, you think Love Live, pretty much.
it. Well, this will be and this is 12 episodes. You said
13 episodes. There's also like a million spin-offs and sequels and second seasons and whatevers. But yes, this is the idol anime basically. It like the Sword Art Online of idol anime. It like popularized the genre and is part of the reason where we're at now with anime. So it's got historical value. I don't know if that makes it good, but a lot of people really like it, and I think they formed like an actual band, which at this point has broken up. Love Live School Idol Project is part of the Love Live multimedia franchise co-developed with Ngeki G Magazine. In 2015, idol group Mousou was Japan's 8th best-selling musical act, selling over 800,000 CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. The series also released a mobile rhythm game titled Love Live School Idol Festival for iOS and Android, developed by K-Lab, which was released in 2013 for Japan, 2014 for English users. As of March 22, 2016, the game has surpassed 25 million users worldwide. The only thing I know about this is Nico Nico Ni, which is one of the girls' like catchphrases.
why does that sound familiar?
You've probably heard it.
That sounds super familiar.
Nico Nico Ni.
Oh,
There's like a whole hand thing, but I don't know what it is.
I'm sure we will by the end of this. We are going to do that next time. That is a promise. We are going to do the hand.
I have to like practice it.
We'll meet up an hour before the show. We'll practice the choreography.
It's only right to practice choreography for an idol show.
I mean, if we got it, we got it. We got to keep the folks entertained, right?
Yes.